As part of Richland's strategic leadership plan, City Council established a citizen-comprised code enforcement board. The board will focus on improving the appearance of housing and neighborhoods through effective enforcement of Richland municipal codes. Previously, Richland's code enforcement officers were required to file non-compliant violations with the municipal courts. This led to a long and drawn-out process through the court system, a procedure that tended to have mixed results in resolving a code violation issue and made the violation a criminal offense.
You know, I believe the benefit of most of it is the people that we're dealing with, they're not criminals. They're citizens who just simply are not in compliance with some of our code violations. So it makes more sense for it to be a civil process. And also the fact that it goes before a board made up of citizens, it's a decision being made by them. It's not a decision being made by the police department, being made by the code enforcement division.
What it does for the city is it gives the city an opportunity to control the collection and enforcement of those penalties up to including placing a lien on the property of the owner, and then it removes the potential of having a criminal record for an offense, which could be as a misdemeanor. Our offenses were up to a $5,000 fine and up to a year in jail, and that is now gone for these civil infraction offenses.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. It's time to call this regular meeting of the City of Pasco Code Enforcement Board to order.
Richland patterned its 5-member board after the City of Pasco's Code Enforcement Board, which hears appeals and renders decisions regarding civil violation of the city's municipal codes. The Richland Code Enforcement Board will conduct similar hearings on non-compliant code violations, ranging from junk vehicles to nuisance complaints, property safety issues to some building code violations.
It creates a process by which the violators, who are citizens of Richland, residents of Richland, are being judged by other citizens of Richland, and will provide some assurance to the violators and to the citizens that there are in fact true violations that need to be remedied, and not have a 6 or 8 month process after somebody's been fined.
Voluntary compliance, that's our ultimate goal, is just to educate people on what the codes are and help them, if need be, to get the resources, or at least direct them to make the corrections that need to be made.
Richland's code enforcement officers processed 528 code complaints last year. Of those, 98% were brought into compliance through education and remediation. It's the remaining 2% that the Code Enforcement Board will address.
You know, the codes were put into place because we have a standard in the City of Richland that we would like our citizens to live by and to be able to live with. It is better for them to have citizens, their peers, make decisions on these cases. People, I believe, are more apt to comply with these codes when not the enforcement, but when the information is coming from the board members, who again are citizens just like they are, and are their peers and their neighbors and people they work with.
The city would much rather work with a property owner to resolve any code issues than to bring the case before the hearings board. However, the Citizen Board is a more logical and expedient process to handle these civil issues, and this approach is more effective when citizens are involved in the process of establishing and enforcing acceptable community standards.
I think that code enforcement is justifiably proud of the fact that they are able to resolve as many as they do, and this is an effort to just kind of bump that up a little bit, I think.